Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we will solve one more Leetcode problem. The problem name is House Robber 2. It is a medium level problem. First of all, we will understand the problem statement. Then we will find a better approach to solve this problem. You are a professional robber planning to rob houses. Each house has a certain amount of money. All houses at this place are arranged in a circle. That means the first house is the neighbor of the last one. Meanwhile, adjacent houses have a security system connected. It will automatically contact the police if two adjacent houses were broken. Given an integer array nums representing the amount of money of each house, return the maximum amount of money you can rob tonight without alerting the police. The problem is clear that they will provide a nums array with some values representing the money in each house. House 1 contains 2, house 2 contains 3, and house 3 contains 2. And we will return the maximum amount that the robber can rob from all the houses. They also mentioned that the houses are in the circular fashion, means the last house is the adjacent to the first house. In the There is only one constraint that the adjacent house the robber cannot rob. That means if the robber robbed the first house, he cannot able to rob the second house, or he can rob any other house rather than this second house. He can restrict it to that. Likewise, if he started robbing from the second house, he can rob the any other house rather than the third house. And also in the question they mentioned that the houses are in the circular fashion. For that reason, if he starts from the first house, he cannot rob the last house. The last house and first house are connected to the adjacent. So if he if he want to rob the last house, he can start from the second house, leaving the first house. Yeah. First of all, I will recommend you to, if you haven't watched the House Robber one, I recommend you to watch the House Robber one and come back to this video. I will ping that video in the description. Please visit that video and watch it and come back to this video. Why? Because mostly 90% of the problem is solved in in that question. Here we need to clear that the houses in the circular, but in that question the houses in the linear, but the question is the same. For that reason, I will recommend you to solve, go to that problem and see that and come back to this. Okay, we can move on to this problem. I will take that rubber function has the helper function and I will implement this problem. Here we have two cases that it is also like a linear approach. Linear, we can split it like a linear houses by taking two, splitting them into two. Like there are we have four houses. Let we assume that we have four houses. We will first of all solve the houses rather than the last house. We will consider these three houses and we will solve the problem. And then we will consider these three houses and we will solve the problem. So that the last house and the first house cannot be overlinked or adjacent to each other. So we cannot rob like that. Okay. I I will take the robber function as the alpha function and I will implement these two cases in that robber function. And we will find maximum among these two and we will return that. I will create the DP array to store the maximum amount that the robber can drop at that particular house, up to that particular house. We need to careful that the rums array contains at least two values before doing this. For that, if there is only one house, if the house length is less than or equal to 2. We can drop starting from this third house, that is index 2, and up to length of the at particular point we will store up what is the maximum amount that the robber can drop up to that house by considering 2. That is, at the particular house we can add with the previous house what is the maximum amount that he can drop, that is stored in the DP array. First of all, we will add the amount at that particular house and the amount that is stored in the DP array, that is previous house, that is I minus 2, and we will also compare it if there is any maximum amount that is in the previous house. We'll check last two houses amount max. I will call the function for the both the houses. Start from the 0 and end up, ignore the last house, or otherwise robber can start from the second house and you can. uh, like by taking the DP array we have solved this. At every stage we have stored what is the maximum that the robber can drop up to that house, but either we can solve it by taking, it will take a order of n space to solve this problem, but we can not using all the previous houses, we can store the, just by taking two variables also we can solve this problem. If you want means ping me the message, I will try to do that problem again. Thanks for watching my video. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.